Hi guys, let's talk about pancreas. Pancreas, it is also known as composite gland as it contains both exocrine and endocrine properties. The endocrine part of the pancreas is known as islets of Langerhans. This is the endocrine region of pancreas and this is only 1 to 2% of whole pancreas. And this endocrine region contains about 1 to 2 million islets of Langerhans. Now this endocrine part, also called as islets of Langerhans of pancreas, contains two types of cells, alpha cells and beta cells. These alpha cells produce a hormone known as glucagon and beta cells produce a hormone known as insulin. Both these glucagon and insulin, they act as antagonistic to each other. We will study about this in a while. Let's take a look at glucagon that is produced by alpha cells of islets of Langerhans. Glucagon, it is a peptide hormone. It plays a very important role in maintaining the normal blood glucose level of a body. Glucagon mainly acts on hepatocytes. Hepatocytes are the liver cells and it stimulates the glycogenolysis, resulting in an increased blood sugar level. As we know, our liver stores glycogen. So this glucagon, when this glucagon is released in the blood, it causes the glycogen to break down into glucose, and hence the blood sugar level of our body increases. This is known as hyperglycemia. In addition, this hormone also stimulates the process of gluconeogenesis. Gluconeogenesis means formation of glucose from a non-carbon source, and this also contributes to hyperglycemia. Glucagon reduces the cellular glucose uptake and utilization, and hence this glucagon is known as hyperglycemic hormone. Now let's take a look at insulin. Insulin is produced by beta cells. It is also a peptide hormone. It also plays a very important role in regulation of glucose levels of the blood. Insulin, it acts mainly on hepatocytes and adipocytes. It enhances the cellular glucose uptake of these cells and their utilization. As a result, the rapid movement of glucose from blood to adipocytes and hepatocytes takes place, and this results in decreased blood glucose level, also known as hypoglycemia. Insulin also stimulates the conversion of glucose to glycogen, and this is known as glycogenesis. Glycogenesis, that means the conversion of glucose into glycogen, and this glycogen is later stored in the liver. Hence, the glucose homeostasis of the body is maintained by two hormones, insulin and glucagon. Glucagon increases the glucose level of the body, known as hyperglycemia, and insulin decreases the glucose level of a body, known as hypoglycemia. Hence, these both act opposite to each other, hence they are known as antagonistic hormones. Prolonged hyperglycemia in the blood leads to a disease known as diabetes mellitus. Diabetes mellitus is also known as type 2 diabetes, which is associated with loss of glucose through urine and formation of harmful compounds in the body known as ketone bodies. Now let's talk about testes. These are a pair of organs that are present in the scrotum of male individual. Testes are endocrine glands as well as the primary sex organ in males. Testes is composed of seminiferous tubules, stromal or interstitial tissues, and special cells are present in testes known as Leydig cells. These Leydig cells produce a group of hormone called as androgens, and one of the main androgen is testosterone. These androgen regulates the development and maturation of male accessory sex organs like epididymis, vas deferens, seminal vesicles, prostate gland, etc. These hormones stimulate the muscular growth in male body, growth of facial hair, axial hair, aggressiveness, low pitch voice during puberty. Androgens also play a very important role in spermatogenesis, that is the formation of spermatozoa, which later leads to formation of sperms. Androgen, they mainly act on the central nervous system of the body and influence the male sexual behavior also known as libido. These hormones produce anabolic or synthetic effect on protein and carbohydrate metabolism. Now let's take a look at ovaries. There is a pair of ovaries located in abdomen of female individual. Ovary is composed mainly of ovarian follicles and stromal tissues. It is the primary female sex organ which produces one ovum during each menstrual cycle. That is, one ovum is produced every 28 days. Ovary also produces two steroid hormones known as estrogen and progesterone. Estrogen is synthesized by growing ovarian follicles. Secretion of estrogen leads to growth and activity of female secondary sexual organs, development of ovarian follicles, appearance of female secondary sex characters like high-pitched voice, mammary glands, etc. Estrogen also regulates the female sexual behavior. Sexual behavior is known as libido. After ovulation, that means the process of release of mature graphene follicle, the ruptured follicle is converted into a structure known as corpus luteum. This corpus luteum secretes progesterone. Progesterone supports pregnancy, and it also acts on mammary gland and stimulates the formation of alveoli. Alveoli are the structures in which milk is stored. Now, as we talked in the part 1, of the hormones are also secreted by some tissues that are not endocrine glands like heart, kidney and gastrointestinal tract. Let's take a look at them. The atrium region of our heart produces a hormone known as atrial natriuretic factor or ANF. When the blood pressure is increased, this ANF is released in the blood, which causes the dilation of blood vessels. This is the blood vessel, and these blood vessels become dilated, hence this reduces the blood pressure. Kidney, the juxtaglomerular cells of our kidney produce a hormone known as erythropoietin. Erythropoietin helps in the formation of RBCs. GIT or gastrointestinal tract. Endocrine cells are present in different parts of the GIT, which secretes majorly 4 types of hormones. These are the peptide hormones: gastrin, secretin, cholecystokinin and gastric inhibitory peptide. Gastrin acts on the gastric glands and stimulates the secretion of HCl and pepsinogen. These help in the digestion of food. Secretin acts on the exocrine region of the pancreas and stimulates secretion of water and bicarbonate ions. These also help in digestion of the food. CCK or cholecystokinin acts on both pancreas and gallbladder and stimulates the secretion of pancreatic enzyme and bile juice. GIP or gastric inhibitory peptide, this inhibits the gastric secretions and its motility. And also there are several non-endocrine tissues present in our body that secrete growth factors. These factors are responsible for the normal growth of the tissue and the repairing and regeneration. Thank you.